If machines can do your job, how do you earn a living? For the most part, everyone has to work to survive, either for yourself or for someone else. But what if machines can now do your job? How do you earn money to live? Welcome to Fascinating Facts and Features. We explore the hidden systems shaping the world around you. If you find this useful, consider liking and subscribing. For most of history, life followed a simple rule. You worked, you earned money, and that money paid for food, housing, and safety. Technology has always changed how people work. Progress is normal, it's expected. But artificial intelligence is different. Unlike past machines, AI doesn't just replace muscle, it can replace thinking. That means some workers may lose jobs. Others may keep their jobs but feel new pressure. And some may benefit while many are affected indirectly. This isn't just about job loss. It's about how work, money, and survival stay connected in a world shaped by AI. And that raises a question we've never had to answer before. What happens to everyday people if AI changes work faster than society can adapt? But the bills don't slow down? To understand what's at stake and what it means for you, you'll want to follow the full picture here as we examine the questions that everyone affected should consider. To understand what's driving all of this, we need to start with one basic idea: profit. Companies exist to make money, especially public companies. Shareholders expect profits to grow year after year. Executives are rewarded for delivering those profits. Falling behind isn't just bad, it can threaten a company's survival. This pressure creates competition. Companies compete with other companies to be more profitable. Workers compete with other workers to stay valuable. In that environment, efficiency matters because it protects profits. For decades, technology helped people compete. It made workers more productive and increased their value. But AI changes where that competition happens. Instead of only helping people work faster, AI can now do some of the work itself. When a company can use AI to perform the same task for less money, profits improve. Once one company gains that advantage, others feel pressure to follow, not because they want to eliminate jobs, but because they don't want profits to shrink. That pressure doesn't stop with companies. Workers feel it too. If a machine can do part of your job faster or cheaper, your value is measured against that machine. Even workers who keep their jobs feel the shift. Wages tighten, expectations rise. Fewer people are asked to do more. No single decision causes a crisis, but thousands of similar decisions made across industries slowly reshape the job market. And this pressure doesn't end with AI. Businesses aren't built to stop innovating. They're built to keep increasing profits over time. That means whatever technology comes next, whether it replaces AI or builds on it, the same incentives will apply. AI isn't the end of technological change. It's one step in a longer evolution of how businesses pursue profit. At this point, you might be thinking something reasonable. We've seen major technology changes before. Machines replaced farm labor, factories replaced craftsmen, computers replaced paperwork, and each time, new opportunities appeared. People learned to operate the machines, service them, manage them, build businesses around them. Technology changed what people did, but people were still needed in the system. AI is different in a key way. The goal of AI isn't just to assist humans. It's often designed to remove human involvement altogether. Instead of creating new roles around the technology, AI aims to perform the role itself. That changes where the money goes. In past technology shifts, companies paid workers to run the system. With AI, companies increasingly pay other companies. Fees that once went to employees now go to software providers, platforms, and infrastructure firms. That means productivity can increase without wages increasing alongside it. And this happens at scale. AI doesn't need years to spread. Once it works, it can be copied almost instantly. A system that replaces one job can replace thousands of similar jobs at the same time. This doesn't mean people stop having skills. It means fewer people are needed to earn the same amount of money. When that happens, pay doesn't disappear overnight. It thins out. Jobs still exist, but they pay less. More people compete for fewer openings. Experience matters less. Bargaining power shrinks. Even if you keep your job, you may find it harder to ask for raises, harder to switch careers, and easier to be replaced. So the pressure doesn't show up as mass unemployment at first. It shows up as stalled wages, unstable work, and people working more just to stay in place. And that's when the question becomes personal. If work no longer guarantees security, how do you plan your life? This kind of economy isn't entirely new. There have been times in history when most people didn't earn wages. During the feudal period, wealth came from owning land, not from paying workers broadly. Most people survived by gaining access to what others owned, not by being paid for their labor. That system wasn't romantic or fair, but it was stable for a long time. And when income becomes disconnected from work, modern economies can start to resemble older structures, where ownership matters more than participation. At this point, a fair question comes up. If companies need customers and customers need income, why doesn't the system stop itself? Why would businesses support changes that makes fewer people able to buy what they sell? The answer lies in how decisions are made. Companies don't act as a group, they act one at a time. Each company looks at its own costs, its own profits, and its own competitors. If using AI increases profit today, not using it feels risky, even if the long-term effects are unclear. No single company causes the problem. Each one makes a reasonable decision to protect its position. But when many companies do the same thing, the outcome changes the entire system. This is why the system doesn't correct itself early. The benefits show up quickly. Higher margins, higher stock prices, better short-term results. The costs show up later. Weaker demand, financial stress, and fewer people are able to participate fully. By the time those effects are felt, the decisions that cause them are already locked in. And there's another reason the system keeps moving. Companies don't need everyone to be doing well to remain profitable. They can sell to smaller, wealthier groups. They can export. They can shift toward rent, subscriptions, and access. So even as the foundation weakens, many companies can continue to grow. This isn't because anyone planned it this way. It's because systems built to reward profit don't measure stability until it's already under strain. When systems like this come under strain, the response doesn't usually come from markets alone. History shows that something else steps in. Sometimes it's the government. When industrialization created dangerous factories, labor laws followed. When monopolies grew too powerful, antitrust laws appeared. When economic shocks left people unable to survive, social safety nets were created. These changes didn't stop progress, they stabilized it. In other cases, the response came from society itself. New norms formed, new expectations took hold, ownership models changed, and sometimes, when change came too slowly, instability forced the issue. Protests, political shifts, social unrest. These weren't signs of failure. They were signals that the system needed adjustment. The pattern is consistent. When technology moves faster than social rules, pressure builds. Eventually, the rules change, not to stop innovation, but to reconnect people to the system that supports their lives. AI doesn't change this pattern, it simply accelerates it. So, where does this leave you? AI isn't good or bad on its own, it's a tool. The real question is how life works when work no longer guarantees security. If income no longer comes reliably from a job, where does it come from? And if survival depends on systems you don't control, what does independence really mean? Is stability the same as freedom? Or does freedom require something more? Ownership, voice, and choice. History shows that societies always adjust when technology changes how people live. The adjustment doesn't happen all at once. It happens through debate, pressure, and new rules. AI is forcing that conversation earlier than expected. Understanding what's at stake doesn't give easy answers, but it does give you better footing to make decisions in a world shaped by AI. And to understand what it means for you, you'll want to follow the full picture. This channel exists to ask questions that don't always fit into headlines. Fascinating Facts and Features explores how hidden systems, history, and technology shape everyday life, often in ways we don't notice until they matter. If you value thoughtful explanations over quick answers and curiosity over outrage, consider subscribing. Because understanding how the world works is one of the few advantages that still belongs to you.